So hi, I'm Kristina Mansveld, for anybody that I don't know, which is actually a lot of you, because I'm assuming that a lot of you are grads and or curiously studying people. Anyway, I'm running for Board of Regents rep, second time, uncontested, hoping to get it again. First, I'd like to explain kind of what the Board of Regents is and why it's important and why the position is important. But what I'd really like to focus on is how you can be creative in the position, because the position as it's written down on paper and sort of the possibilities of the position are completely different things. And one is a lot more exciting and in ways like a lot more relevant and a lot more sort of cutting edge than the other. So the Board of Regents is the highest governing body of the school. It meets 3 to 4 times a year, and it has all sorts of committees, some of which have students sitting on them that meet in between the meetings. And in the committees and at the Regents meetings, they basically make these overarching decisions over the long term that are really important and basically affect everything that we do here. So if you think about something that you really don't like about Mount Allison, or something that's bothered you for the last 4 years, or something that you really do like, the Regents probably had a big role in sort of shaping that. So you should be really worried and interested about what they're doing. So basically, the Board of Regents rep and the SAC president are the two people who sit on the board as regents, and then of course we have some students in the committees. And basically, in my opinion anyway, and from kind of what I've learned over the last year, is that in order for Mount A to really reflect our values and reflect what we want, we have to give them really pertinent, really professional input in their decision-making process in order for them to know what's actually important to us. Because the regents are normally really nice people. They're regents because they want to be. They don't get any money to be regents. But they have no idea what it's like to be a student now. They have these memories from 50 years ago, and they love to tell you about it, but it's really not relevant anymore at all. So they really need our help. One of the things that I found most interesting and most sort of inspiring that I did this year was that I helped a good friend of mine, Kalei Inau, who is the founder of Lightside Canada, to get in touch with Peter Mansbridge and get some mentorship on media relations for her project. So this is kind of one of the things that I wanted to touch on and that I really want to help expand and make more sort of prominent, is that the position can be used in really creative ways that you would never guess. And so the Regents are they're a huge resource for everybody here, because they're at the absolute top of their game. They're these incredible professionals with loads of experience. They just need to be told what to do, and well, what we want them to do. And I think that more sort of discourse between the actual members of the board and students could be really helpful, and there could be lots of ways how people could have sort of access to the resources that Kalei did, just because she talked to me and the positions happened to work out that we could actually talk to Mr. Mansbridge, and he was really nice about it and really open and sort of receptive to what we had to say. One of the things that I'm really excited about, and I hope that you also feel is important, especially if you are grads, since maybe you're going off into the workforce, or you're going to pursue higher education, or basically you're going out into sort of the outside world, outside the Sackville bubble, is that we have to really use our voice as consumers and our voice as members of sort of a consumer society to vote about what we think is important. And in the context of Mount Allison, I think that should really be translated into the use of the university's endowment funds and pension funds in sort of more socially conscious and environmentally conscious ways. And this is an incredibly difficult goal, something that's really complicated, and that could either be received very negatively or very positively by members of the board. But I think that if there's a lot of input on the student level, and we all kind of talk about what we think is important in an idea like this, and we present it in a really pragmatic and in a really positive way to the board members, we might actually be able to get somewhere with it. So that's something that I'd really like to work on this year. So basically what I just want to underline is the Board of Regents position is one thing on paper, and it's another thing in reality, and it could be a lot more. And basically it's whatever you make of it. It's whatever students want it to be at that time, and whatever students are really interested in and whatever students really need. The position can kind of be melded to shape to reflect that and to help that sort of move up into the echelons of university governance. So I'd really like you guys to let me know of anything that you find important. If you've been here for 4 years and there's something that's really pissing you off and you really want to know that too, let me know about that. And I'm really excited, hopefully, to be your Board of Regents rep again next year. Like I said, this is the second time I'm running uncontested. I really never want to run uncontested again, strange as that sounds. So after another year of doing this, I really hope that someone else is also interested and realizes sort of the ways that this position can be melded and used to really help the student body. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and yeah, that's all I've got to say.